Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. And make sure you download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need to build your winning lineups in the palm of your hand. Optimizers, value tools, the chat room, much, much more. So go check it all out. LineStar in your App Store. Make that happen. You can find myself on Twitter at BDintric and my co-host is always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. It seems like the games that have taken place tonight are moving in slow motion. Yeah. Like everything seems slowed down. We're not even at the end of this Cubs-Phillies game as we're recording this. And this is when we record every night. I mean, it's not a shocking turn of events, but Philly put up 10 runs. Brandon Woodruff wasn't great.
No, he was great till the 7th inning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get to watch that one. So, got beat up a little bit there. But there were some, a lot of runs put up by the Tribe, a lot of runs put up by the Phillies today. The Reds got in there too. Good thing I wasn't. Yeah. Pirates. Yeah. Your stack. And you had a couple really good calls. I mean, Jake Marisnick went yard. You called him out specifically against the lefty. So, yeah, I mean, it was a decent day, but a weird one for sure.
Yeah, I know if you multi-entered a contest, and if you've asked me before in the chat, which I've said once in a while, I have like my 5 or 6 stacks I like, so I'll mix and match them in chats. I liked White Sox and Cleveland, so you should have some White Sox Cleveland that should have helped you a little bit. Not sure if it would have got you all the monies because I think you needed Pittsburgh or at least Ben Gamble, who somehow hit 2 home runs and like had an RBI double and didn't get played by many people at all. So that's baseball in a nutshell. And Joe Musgrove was a chalky pitcher, and it's already 5-0 early in that one, so he's getting beat up. You gotta love baseball. You just gotta love it. It's good stuff. So
it's very different. Your boy Kevin Gossman even lost tonight.
Yeah, he gave it 2 runs in 7 innings. He actually pitched well with the Giants. The bats are cold, like the last week. They're getting cold, and it's starting to happen. I mean, I thought it would happen like 2 months ago. They at least waited till July. Like they gave me 3 months of fun. So
yeah, what are the Dodgers at like 9 wins in a row or something stupid?
They both lost today, so we're still a half game up. And the Padres are losing, thank God. So we might keep the lead going into Tuesday. But I'm just waiting for that other shoe to drop and then like be down by 10 games by August or something. It's coming. So fun stuff there. But enough of the depression. Pretty soon, we won't talk Diamondbacks or Giants on this show. But
well, we already don't talk Diamondbacks, so that's fine. I tap. I'm out.
You tapped out on that one. But tonight, Tuesday night, we have 14 games. Monster slate with some monster pitchers. A couple weather issues like the Mets. I think it'll be fine with like 20 to 25% chances. So if they want to be dum-dums and not risk DeGrom out there, they might pull some fast ones. So just keep an eye on that one. And then your other ones in Minnesota and the White Sox, about 40% chances of rain there. But I think we will be okay.
Under 50% for both of them. I mean, that's a pretty clear day. So
that's the way I see it. And it's going to be warm with some windy situations. So have some fun with some more offense all over the diamond. And we'll kick things off with Mr. DeGrom himself. The Milwaukee Brewers at the New York Mets. Brett Anderson versus Jacob DeGrom. Over under 6.5 because I guess Brett Anderson's given up 6 maybe. So that's pretty cool stuff. Brett Anderson's cheap. DeGrom's 11.5 on DK, 11.8 on FanDuel. You just got to keep paying for DeGrom, it feels like, Bogman.
Yeah, I mean, he's always the best option. Really doesn't matter what his price is. I don't know what the highest price of a pitcher ever on DK has been, but he's just always the best option. 11.5, 11.8. He's in play. Doesn't matter what time, even with weird potential rain delays and stuff like that. But I mean, I think I would only be taking Mets bats in this game. Yelich hits DeGrom. He doesn't hit anything this year, but he hits DeGrom 15 for 34 with 2 doubles against him. That's a 441 average in over 34 at bats here. That's pretty good. Pilar has a decent record against Anderson. So does Peraza if he's in there. Some of these Brewers bats have been hitting, but obviously you can't get excited about them with DeGrom on the mound. So for me, it's like Pilar, Pete Alonso, Dom Smith is 36 and 32. That's not a bad price for him. Brandon Nimmo has been hitting since he came back, 4,000, 2,700. I think those are the guys I want.
Yeah, I'll throw another one in there. James McCann hits lefties quite well, but all in all, I just want Jacob deGrom in this game. With 14 other games, I want to say there's going to be a much better offense elsewhere. You did mention some Brewers, though. Like, if it was a smaller slate, I'd use my normal, like, if you want to get contrarian versus the top pitcher, here it is. Not so much on a 14-game slate because you can get contrarian with better situations type thing. And DeGrom doesn't get shelled. So if you are going to use any Brewers, use, like, no more than 2. Like, make it a one-off situation. Yeah. Oh, my guy just hit a home run as we record.
Live on the show. Congrats.
It's right here. If you watch YouTube, I'm making it rain. So there you go. Check out the LineStar YouTube channel. It's happening. Bogman and I were laughing, going, how did the Cubs not hit any home runs besides Marisnik in this game? I'm like, it's okay. All 3 picks are coming up to lead off our bottom of the ninth. It's going to happen. We got 1, so that's good. But back to the slate. DeGrom. Atlanta at the Pittsburgh Pirates in this one, where Atlanta continues to be one of the more disappointing DFS offenses on the face of the planet. And the Pirates just, there's a reason why I always say they're value, because they do stuff like they do like twice a week what they did on Monday night. So you get Ian Anderson, Chad Kuhl, over under 8.5 on this one. Anderson's 86 and 84, Kuhl 69 and 7,000. Any interest in either arm on this one?
I mean, I don't have any interest in Cool Chad, but Ian Anderson might be okay. I know the Pirates have been hitting a little bit too, so, take it with a grain of salt, but the price isn't bad at 86.84. And his last start against Pittsburgh, I mean, it was back on May 15th, but 6 innings pitched, no earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. So pretty good track record here. Orlando Arcia gets cool a little bit, 5 for 14 with a double. And there's Ben Gamble's hot, but not a lot of Pirates that are hot outside of him, even though they've been putting up some runs, but no one is really running hot. So Albies, Freeman, Guillermo Heredia, those are guys I'm interested in.
Yeah, if you want to go back to Atlanta, I don't blame you. Kuhl's been getting hit, but not hit a lot, if that makes sense. So it's been tough to, on a big slate, you need the hammers tonight. So the Braves could do it. No one will be shocked, but it's also frustrating because they should be doing it like every other night, it feels like, and they don't. So if you want to go to the Braves, you can. If you are stacking Pittsburgh, it's going to be Reynolds, Frazier, Brian Hayes, Ben Gamble, the usual suspects. I can't wait to see what Ben Gamble's price is, and Polanco. He's been good also. But Ben Gamble at $2,000 and $2,200 after a night like on Monday. I hate to break it to you,
shoot up, right?
I'm not playing a chalky Ben Gamble, so have fun with that one yourselves. Toronto at Baltimore on this one. See, now we're talking about better hitting environments, folks. This is where the fun begins. We got Steven Matz checking in on this one, 78 on DK, 8,000 on FanDuel, and I believe he is facing Dean Kramer as well. This is a great hitter's ballpark with 2 pitchers that love to give it up, Bogman.
Yeah. I mean, stack either side of this one, right? I mean, Toronto obviously is chalky. Simeon, Bichette, Springer, Gurriel, Vlad, anybody, but on the Baltimore side, Franco's, I know he's a little banged up. I know he's day to day, but if he's in there, he's 7 for 13 with 2 homers against Mats. So a little nice PVB data, 35 and 2,600. Cedric Mullins, obviously, just still not even priced right, 39 and 3,400. Austin Hayes been hitting a little bit. Ramon Urias. So those are the bats that I like here.
Yeah, I like the Ramon Urias value because, of course, kind of like a Baltimore Orioles stack in this one. So you start with Cedric Mullins. You got Mancini if you want, but Mountcastle's been crushing it. He's not too expensive. I love the Ramon Urias value as well. And then you see what the lineup dictates because they've been spitting out some different combinations. Maybe you get a Severino behind the dish or some other little cheapies you can take advantage of and go from there. And the one thing I will mention, Toronto, it's usual suspects, like you said. Lourdes Gurriel seems like he might be heating up. So enjoy him while he's cheap at the bottom part of that lineup to be a little different because Toronto should be very popular on Tuesday night. Los Angeles Dodgers at the Miami Marlins. Tony Gonsolin, Pablo Lopez over under 7.5. Gonsolin 76 and 63. Lopez 77 and 95. I just can't use Gonsolin because they don't let him go long, Boggs.
Yeah. I mean, that's really it on Tony. As soon as he gets stretched out, and they're going to be missing a spot in the rotation, seems like for a little bit. So he should get stretched out. I'll be more interested. Hey, look, Lopez should be well rested, right?
He should be. Should be coming off a couple of days rest. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it's kind of a tougher draw against LA, especially with them hitting. Up until today, it had been 9 in a row for them. They had won, but Lopez is an option for sure. I mean, he's cheaper than Ian Anderson on DK, 7,700, 9,500 on FanDuel. So he's a decent option there. I don't know if I would go diving after him against the Dodgers, but he's at least in play. But for me, it's just the hot batters here on the, the LA side: Muncy, Turner, Taylor, Lux, Will Smith. On the Miami side, Duvall can always go deep, 37, 3,400. Garrett Cooper, Jesus Aguilar starting to hit again. And Sonia Marte is hitting, always good to be hitting in the middle of contract negotiations for Starling. Yeah. So we like that.
Yeah, 3 years, $30 million, what they offered him. Oh, okay, no, that's not going to happen. Like, geez, Louise, Marlins. Look, we know you're cheap, but come on, don't offend the man. But Marte is always an interesting play. He's been kind of cold of late, but he's still in play. But Cooper, Chisholm, you can get some cheap Marlins if you want, because Gonson, even though it doesn't go long, he's still not doing well when he's in there to begin with. So he walks a lot of guys, and you can take advantage of that. If you want to go with some Marlins, I don't hate it. I'd like to go with some Orioles probably for now. There's some other teams for the contrarian side of things, but the Marlins would become lower owned in this matchup against the Dodgers. Detroit at Texas, Jose Urania versus Dane Dunning, over under of 9. Urania, then you got Dunning at 74 and 75. You can always make a case for Dunning, Bogman, but in all, I think it's bat central time.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dane Dunning hasn't gone 6 since May 20th, so I'm not really dependent on him here. David Dahl has a good track record against Urania, 4 for 6 with a double. I mean, who doesn't have a good track record against Urania, right? But, I mean, there's hot bats on both sides. Eric Haas has been white hot for Detroit. Scope, Akil Badu is back on his heater, like we said yesterday. Miguel Cabrera has been hitting, and he's cheap, 31, 3,000. Candelario back up off the IL and hitting 36, 26. Gallo, of course, has been hot. Hicks, White, Lowe, even Culberson, if he's in there, have been hot bats. So I'm good with a nice, if you wanted to stack either side of this game.
Yeah, this could be one of those sneakier game stack situations. The way I liked Cleveland on Monday night, I like Detroit quite a bit on this one because people will use the Texas side against Urania, which is very good. But I think you could attack with Detroit and get a little more contrarian there. But when he's hitting well, I call him by his surname, and that is Sir Joseph Gallo. And he went deep again on Monday. The dude is just ridiculous right now, so just keep playing him while you can at a reasonable price. He's very good. But I like Detroit quite a bit with Badu and company leading the way. Both sides are very affordable, and this will help you save some money if you want to go play Mr. Jacob deGrom on this slate. Philadelphia at the Chicago Cubs. Aaron Nola against Jake Arrieta. No total because of Wrigley Field. Nola's 10,000 on both sites. Arrieta 79 and 76. Two pitchers that have not been quite as elite, but Nola still gets all the strikeouts at least.
He gets all the strikeouts, but where they get off putting him at that much coming off a 7-run game. Before that, he had a blank, 5 1/3, no earned, 12 strikeouts, great game. The game before that, 6. So this is like playing Minesweeper with him. I'm going to pass on both pitchers. There's just too many pitchers on this slate for Nola to be in play at that price to me. So I'll go with bats. There's some PVB data against Nola too. 5 for 12 for Rizzo with 2 homers, 3 for 10 for Bryant with a bomb. Against Arrieta, you have JT Realmuto, 6 for 16 with 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers. So 5 of his 6 hits have gone for extra bases. Andrew McCutchen has 56 at bats against Arrieta, 13 for 56, but a homer and 4 doubles. So got some extra base hits in there. Wisdom has been hot. Sogard's been hitting. Harper, Bohm is starting to pick it up a little bit. Gene Segura as well. So I'll stick to bats only in this game.
Odubel had a big home run on Monday, which is very surprising. But Bryce Harper swinging it very, very well. JT Realmuto, as you mentioned, Kutch. Phillies is the side I want for sure in this one because I always love attacking Jake Arrieta. Maybe the Cubs have been so bad, but this is the night probably if Nola is in a funk the way he is, no one's going to roster the Cubs. No one's going to roster him. And the wind's still going to be blowing out 10 to 11 miles an hour. It looks like to center field. So it's one of those nights. If you get a low on Cubs and Nola slips it up again, it's going to be easy pickings type thing. So if you want to do it, sure, just be ready for the disappointment that is the Chicago Cubs. That's all I'm going to say. But they're really good. It's a really good team that somehow just continues to disappoint. But I like the Philly side, especially Bryce Harper. He's one of my more favorite plays on this slate in that matchup versus Arrieta.
They got Sogard throwing an inning here at the end. So
great. They actually earlier I saw a beef on Twitter. I couldn't tell what it was, and then I looked. They pinch hit Sogard for Patrick Wisdom in the middle of that game. Like people are like, what are you doing, Ross? What are you doing, man? So yeah, the Cubs are like the fans are starting to revolt. It's fun.
Did you see Rich Hill leaving the game
early?
Oof, yikes! That
well,
was
he couldn't throw without the sticky stuff for like 4 starts. Now he's out early.
I wish we could have heard what he was saying. I wonder how much the FCC would have fined him. Would have been a lot.
There needs to be like a Howard Stern station we can listen to that just lets things loose because they don't care about the FCC.
I know. Come on.
Great. Like,
we gotta wait for John Boy for all of them. Come on.
Yeah, the problem is baseball. MLB doesn't like to let fans have fun, so we'll never see it. It'll never see the light of day. So next game on the slate: Chicago White Sox at the Minnesota Twins. Carlos Rodon, Jose Barrios over under 8.5 on this one. Rodon's 10-3 on DK, 10-6 on FanDuel. Barrios 88 and 99. Both really good pitchers. Both offenses are kind of hitting the ball right now. This is a nice GPP spot if you want to be contrarian on all 4 aspects of this game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Rodon always has a high K totals, 7 earned runs in his last 2 games, which is his highest earned runs in back-to-back games total, 7. So he hasn't got beat up this year, but he's not pitching at this price either, kind of like Nola. You know, I would rather have Rodon, I think, over Nola, but it's not by a ton. So I'm probably going to pass on the pitchers here and maybe take some hitters. Polanco is 7 for 16 against Carlos Rodon with a double and a homer. 4 for 9 for Andrelton Simmons with a bomb. Yohan Moncada against Barrios is 10 for 31. That's a 323 average with 3 doubles and 2 homers. Jose Abreu is 13 for 45 against him with 2 doubles and a bomb. So nice PVB data here. And there's some, hot hitting White Sox too. Vaughn, Grandal. I think he got banged up tonight too.
He left injured again. He re-aggravated his calf injury. I'm thinking he's going the IL for a little bit.
Yeah, he just should
rest
let him get
right.
Right. Yep. Right. Lurie Garcia, Tim Anderson, and then on Minnesota side, Larnach has been hitting, and he's cheaper on DK than he is on FanDuel, 25 and 3,000. And Kirilloff's been hitting too, 37 and 3,000. Kepler went deep twice tonight too. Yep. So decent bats on both sides.
Yeah, and affordable overall. Like Tim Anderson's expensive. Abreu's homered in back-to-back games. He's pricey. Moncada's back. He had a decent game on Monday. So the big dogs are hitting. But you got Vaughn, you got Sheets, you got Lurie Garcia with Grandal out. You'll probably get Collins, and he's going to be around 3K also on DK. So I mean, he's much cheaper on FanDuel. There's value on both sides of this one. So I have no problem going the value route and attacking this game. I have no problem using the pitchers. That's why this is like a total. If you watch ownership and want to be contrarian in a tournament, they all have some validity to them because Rodon and Barrios could deal, or they can get lit up. It's a true 4-outcome baseball game. So it's like the perfect GPP kind of storm, depending on where you want to take your stance. Cincinnati at Kansas City on this one. I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Please don't let me down, Mr. Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo versus Chris Bubic. Castillo 85 on both sides. Bubic 56 on DK. Waiting for him on FanDuel. I'm going to keep going with Castillo. I've been banging this drum for over a month now, and I know he still walks guys, but he's always walked guys. But things are better.
4 quality starts in a row. He's got to be in play. So I'm absolutely with you. Castillo's in here, which makes me off of Kansas City bats. So if there's bats that I like here, it's Castellanos. Votto's been hot. Jonathan India's been hitting as well. So I think that's what I go with, Castillo and maybe one of the hitters.
Now keep an eye on India. He got scratched right before the start of the game. Hopefully it's just like he had the poops or something. But I haven't seen any reports yet, so I'm just going to speculate he went full Lamar Jackson on the situation. No idea. But Castellanos went deep. I love Votto in games like this because people see lefty and don't go there. Bubic isn't long for this game, people, so don't care about the lefty. Like if you want to go Winker even or something or Naquin or whatever, I think the Reds are very, very strong play in this game versus Bubic and company. So keep them on your radar. Oakland at Houston. I actually want to sit down and just watch this game. It's going to be a fun one. You got Chris Bassett versus Framber Valdez over under 8.5. Bassett's 9,800, 10,000, and he just got snubbed from the All-Star game. Valdez is 95 on DK, 10-2 on FanDuel. They both pitched outstanding all year. They're both in play for me tonight, Bogman, and I just want to watch this guy. I'm praying it's the pitcher's duel. It should be.
Yeah. I mean, you can. It's hard to say don't buy Astros bats because they've been, like you said, they're the Kansas City Chiefs of baseball. The offense has just been incredible for them. But Valdez, 6 out of his 7 are quality, 3 quality starts in a row for Bassett. And he's ticked off after getting snubbed, like you said. So I'm with you. I think I'm going to go either one of these pitchers and probably not many bats. If you want to go contrarian and take some bats, I don't even know if it'll be contrarian, to be honest with you. But if you want bats, Correa 4 for 11, a little PVB data against Bassett. Gurriel 8 for 21 with 2 doubles, 8 for 25 for Brantley. No homers against him though. Either of those guys. Straw is 3 for 8 against him, no bombs. Pinder 2 for 5 against Valdez, but I think I'm going to go pitchers and no hitters here.
Yeah, I think Bassett will probably come in lower owned just because people do still flock to Houston because they're Houston, so that'll be nice. I think Valdez will come in a little higher owned because the A's have been slumping. So if you are going to go any contrarian angle, it's like Sean Murphy, Laureano, some of these A's bats, Mark Chapman. I just don't think I'm going to pay for that. So I just want both pitchers in this game. But that would be like Oakland bats because Valdez, as much as I love him and he limits hard contact, he's had walk issues his last couple starts. And that just takes a couple walks and a home run and boom goes everything. So it's interesting. I hope it doesn't because I love Framber. I have a ton of season-long leagues. So please, God, keep going. But yeah, should be a fun one to watch. Boston at Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Nate Eovaldi, Shohei Ohtani. Over under a 9 on this one. Eovaldi 89 on DK, 10-3 on FanDuel. Ohtani 83 on DK. FanDuel still sleeping at the wheel. Eovaldi All-Star
as a hitter earlier.
Yeah, so they're definitely asleep at the wheel.
It was like 4,600. I was like, what? And I was like, oh, it's a position player. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So
drunk. But Ohtani's coming off a tough one against the Yanks. Are you going back to him against Boston?
I think you can. Yeah.
He's an ace at $8,300.
Right. 8,300. I think at that price I can get back invested. I mean, I'll have at least one shot at him because, the strikeout upside is obviously enormous. So I think I'll give him a shot. Eovaldi has been decent lately too. He's a little pricey for me. I don't want to pay up for him that much. But I mean, the bats haven't been super hot for the Angels here either. There's a little PVB data against Eovaldi, 6 for 12 for Goslin with a double. So hitting 500 against him, 8 for 29 for Rendon with 2 doubles. But there are hot hitters on both sides here. JD Martinez, Kike, Renfroe, obviously. Devers has been nice too. All of these Boston bats are expensive. Dahlback might be cheap. 26 and 29, actually more expensive on FanDuel. Iglesias, Walsh, Stassi on the Angels side, but Walsh obviously the best option there, and he's super expensive. So I think Ohtani, maybe some Red Sox bats in another lineup, but not too much from this game.
Yeah, it's like we say with Ohtani all the time. It's like the biggest risk reward pitcher you can have. When he's on, he's like an elite ace. When he's off, we saw what happened. Like that's what happened with Ohtani because he walks a lot of guys. That's what he did in that game. He walked like two or three guys, gave up a bunch of hits after, and it just implodes real quickly. So he's great. I will use him in tournaments, but that's where the playing Boston bats, if you want, it'll come into play. Like Devers and company, they're expensive, but they'll have upside if something slips up because Anaheim's bullpen sucks too. I do like Eovaldi as a pitcher on DK, not on FanDuel. I'm not paying 10-3, but on DK at 89, I definitely will. And the last thing I'll say for those that like sit there and blah 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 blah, blah I will never play Ohtani at pitcher, blah blah blah, all this stuff. If you're willing to pay $10,000 for Aaron Nola, you better pay $8,300 for Ohtani. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Ohtani's on; he is equal to Nola, if not better. So just rock with that one, please. 4 more games to go before I go there. Make sure you give a rate and review on iTunes. We truly appreciate it. It helps the podcast out quite a bit. Helps more people experience the Bogman and Bubba experience. And it might not be for everybody, but it's for a lot of people. So come join the party there and go to the LineStar YouTube channel and subscribe, give a thumbs up, and all the good stuff there as well. All right, Colorado at Arizona. We got John Gray versus Merrill Kelly over under 8.5. Gray 73 on DK, 83 on FanDuel. Kelly 92 and 88. Both are pitching very, very well right now, Bogman.
Yeah, I mean, Gray, 3 starts versus Arizona this year. He's got 18 and 2/3 innings, 8 earned runs, which is a 3.86 ERA, only 11 strikeouts to 7 walks, but he's been good against Arizona. Merrill Kelly has 3 quality starts in a row, and in those 3, 17-1 strikeout to a walk ratio. So pretty good for him. He has 1 good and 1 bad start against Colorado. They were both before they're like his last one was his bad one and his last one was May 3rd. So it's been a while. But there's some PVB data for the Diamondbacks against Gray. 3 for 6 for Cabrera against him, 3 for 10 for Pavin, 15 of 35. I mean, Peralta owns him, 2 triples, hitting 429, 6 for 15 for Walker, 5 for 17 for Nick Ahmed. And then Josh Reddick has been hitting too. Diamondbacks have been hitting, if anything, recently. Diaz went yard, I think, on Sunday. Might have been today too. 4,300, 3,100 for Colorado. Story's been hitting. Hampson and McMahon also can always be in play. So Kelly as a maybe. I don't want to mess with John Gray. I just think the Diamondbacks have a decent track record against him overall, so I don't want to mess with him.
There's a couple of very nice tournament angles here because Kelly, I do like tonight. Most people will not even come close to playing 92 for him. Like, it's just not going to happen. On FanDuel at 88 makes for a very nice value tournament play there. But on DK at 92, I'm still not against it just because no one's going to play him. And if he throws another 20-plus points up there, you're going to be way ahead of the field. On the same angle, everyone's going to play John Gray at $73. Right. I think he's a great play. But you mentioned the D-backs bats are heating up. I just watched them play a whole series against the Giants, and the Giants pitchers are not great, but they're not a joke either. The D-backs are starting to hit the baseball, and they're all very cheap. They remind me a lot of the way I liked Cleveland on Monday, that no one's going to roster them because they're not really a good team. Same with Arizona. They could shock you and score 6+ runs at a super value, help you get Jacob deGrom, help you get some more expensive bats. I think Arizona is that team for you on Tuesday night. St. Louis at San Francisco on this one. Adam Wainwright, Johnny Cueto, over under of 8. I will say the wind's blowing out like 15 miles an hour supposedly on this one, and that ballpark's playing livelier than it used to be. So I'm just going to pencil that in now. Waino's 81 at DK, 82 on FanDuel. Cueto 77 and 89. What do you got here?
Well, I like Wainwright, even with the wind blowing out, because like you mentioned before, the Giants are not hitting recently. So he's got 6 quality starts in a row. I think he's got to be in play. My note for Cueto is let Bubba talk me into it.
Yeah, not tonight.
Okay.
Which means he probably deals because St. Louis bats aren't good. Like, St. Louis isn't good. They scored 2 runs on a couple bloops, and then they scored their 3rd run on another bloop, like 3 straight bloop singles with 2 outs. They're not good, but I'm not going to play Johnny Cueto. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, it's probably Wainwright and bats here, and like you said, there's not a lot of hot bats for St. Louis right now. I mean, Edman and Goldie are expensive. Bader at 32 and 3,000 isn't a bad cheap one if you're looking for a cheap bat. But there's some PVB data against Wainwright here. Your boy Buster, 7 for 20, all-star starter Buster. Right. He's 7 for 20 with the double. Flores 2 for 6, 14 of 48 against Cueto for Yadier Molina because he's played for a million years, but 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers, so 5 extra base hits against him. He's expensive on both, though, 45 and 36. So, but yeah, I think it's mainly Wainwright and maybe Bader for a cheap option.
Yeah, I don't mind Wainwright at all. If you want to use him, you can. If you want some value Giants, go there too. Wade's not a value as much anymore. Still, I like him. Duggar's a value, stuff along those lines for the Giants. But yeah, not a ton I like in this game. I'll probably pass, which is going to sting. But there's 2 more games to talk about on this wonderful slate. And one is the New York Yankees traveling west to face the Seattle Mariners. We got Jameson Taillon, Justice Sheffield, over under of 9. Taillon 72 and 71. Sheffield 68 and 61. I love me some bats, Bogman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely with you as far as bats go. My note right here is nope and nope for Taillon and Sheffield. But these bats haven't been hot for either team either. I mean, Urshela, 41 and 28 has been nice for the Yankees. If you want to throw Judge or Stanton out there, I'm all about it. 54-38 for Judge, 48-37 for Stanton. So maybe Stanton just because he's cheaper. But Fraley's been hitting a little bit for Seattle. JP Crawford still has, and Ty France is picking it back up at 32 and 28. But I want to stack these games, but it doesn't seem to be very stackable.
Yeah, it's not as great as it once was. But another option I like is Luke Voigt, 42 on DK, 28 on FanDuel. That's one I wouldn't mind going to against Justice Sheffield. Have some fun there. So FanDuel always has the Yankees as a much better value. So that's a great place to go to it if you want to. I don't hate Seattle. Like you said, they're very frustrating. Like JP Crawford, Fraley, see what else they throw out there, mix and match. You can have some fun with it. But this game should pop off. We'll see. Last game of the evening, Washington Nationals at San Diego Padres. We wanted it as a late night hammer on Monday. It is. It's 5-3 in the 3rd inning right now. So it's going to be the hammer we wanted. It's happening again on Tuesday night because Patrick Corbin's taking the mound versus Ryan Weathers and the bullpen. So you don't have to like Washington bats, but I love San Diego again.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to stack either side of this game, I'm probably more on the San Diego side. I mean, Will Myers 10 of 29 against Corbin with 4 doubles and a bomb, 345. You know, a lot of D-backs games against Corbin for sure. Machado's 3 for 11 with a bomb against him, and Machado's hot. So Tatis, Profar, Hosmer, any of these guys. And then on the Washington side, like you said, I mean, Soto's expensive, but 5,036 is actually one of his better prices. Starlin Castro, Josh Bell, Josh Harrison at 26 and 24 is a good buy too. So, yeah, I'm good with going with bats and no pitchers here at all.
Yep. Go Padres. Go Padres. Keep pounding Corbin there, Machado and company. I love Pham, Myers. They're all, just play them all. Even Cronenworth, I said it last night on Monday's show. I said play him against the lefty because no one else will. First at bat, single, stolen base. I believe he got on his second time and scored a run. He's an all-star, folks. Rake Cronenworth. Enjoy. Real quick recap before we head on out of here, Boggs. Who are your top pitchers on this slate?
DeGrom is obviously one. Doesn't matter his price. Bassett, Valdez, I like those guys. Probably Luis Castillo after that group. And then if you want to pick out of Ohtani, Anderson, Wainwright, Pablo Lopez, Merrill Kelly, I'm good with all those guys.
Yeah, we're pretty much on the same page. The only other guys, I don't mind Eovaldi on DK. But once again, similar to Monday night, not a lot of discounts. I like on DK, especially where I've mainly played, so that's where I focus my talk a lot. I really don't want to go below Wainwright. And usually I find a bunch of cheap guys I like. Maybe lineups come out and I'll change things because we saw some wanky lineups on Monday already. So maybe we get some goofy ones on Tuesday that makes you go, I could kind of justify this a little bit. We'll see. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. What stacks you like in tonight? Because there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto, Baltimore, either side. Detroit, Texas, either side. Philly against the Cubs. Cincinnati against Bubich. The Yankees and Mariners, either side. And the Padres and Nationals, I think either side as well. So it's not – I don't think there's a lot of games with stacks. There's a lot of teams with stacks that are playing each other.
Yeah, I like all of those. And the other one I'll throw in there is Arizona. I think that could be your sneakier one on this slate, which is I know Bogman won't know because he won't watch it, but I'll report it to him when we record tomorrow night.
Speaking of the updates on Twitter.
Speaking of reporting, we got to report Javi Baez went deep. So that's good on Monday, but that means we have home run calls of the day coming up. So follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys will give you a home run call of the day. And if one of ours hits and you retweet it, you get chosen. Then you win some free swags. So follow them on Twitter, retweet the home run call of the day. So Bogman, Tuesday, July 6th, who's your home run call of the day?
Give me George Springer against Kramer or whoever Baltimore throws out there tomorrow. So that's going to be my pick. Give me a Blue Jay, George Springer.
I do not hate that at all. I'm going to go, some may say chalk on this one, but I'm going to ride this guy while he's hot, and do not use any, no one clip that, please. But give me Mr. Sir Joseph Gallo in this one off of Urania and Company. So I
pivoted off of Gallo because I knew you were going to take him. I was like, hey, called him Sir and everything. I guess I'll find somebody else. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Nice friend you are. So Bogman has George Springer. I have Joseph Gallo. We'll see who Ryan Humphreys picks. There's going to be a lot of home runs. A lot. Not just because there's 14 games, just because it's such bad pitching. There's going to be so much offense. So enjoy it, everybody. I'm on Twitter at BDentric. Bogman at Bogman Sports. Fun Tuesday night slate. We'll be back with you guys on Wednesday to break it all down for you. Once again, good luck, everybody.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.